Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Janae. I'm a product designer, overall creative, so welcome. In this video, I'm going to be sharing how I create this carousel for your designs. You usually see these on Instagram or any type of social media where you have a scroll going either horizontally or vertically. So yeah, we're going to make that. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so the first step we're gonna do is just create a regular frame. It could be any size that you want, but I'm gonna just do 1920 by 1080. And then I'm just gonna create a square so that I can fill it with an image. And I collected a bunch of images with cupcakes, so I'm just going for a cupcake theme, but you can fill this image with anything you want. I'm gonna round the corners a little bit. And then I'm just gonna duplicate these a few times, maybe like 8 times. Okay, so now we should have 8 duplicated images. And you might notice that some of these images fall out of the frame. And in order to fix that, we can just select all of them on our left side, select all of them, and we can just bring them back into our artboard. And once we do that, you'll notice that they might start getting cut off and you might not see the rest of them. And that's just because clip content is on. So if we turn that off, we'll see them again. Okay, so now that we have everything in our artboard, I'm just going to change these images out and just add some different cupcakes. And then I'm actually going to go over to plugins in Figma and I'm going to type in pixels. And this is pretty much where you can get stock photo images. So I'm going to type in cupcakes. Let's use this one. Okay, so now that I've switched out all of my images, I'm actually gonna go ahead and select everything. So we can just drag and select all of our images. And then I'm gonna hit Shift A on my keyboard, and that's gonna put everything into an auto layout frame. And you'll see your new frame on the left side. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the very end of my artboard frame, and you'll notice the blue bounding box around everything. I'm gonna hold Command on my keyboard, and I'm just going to drag this bounding box to the very end of my bigger artboard frame, and you'll see it right here. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna select this frame, and you'll see it's a shorter frame now. I'm gonna go over to prototype, and over here where it says scroll behavior, I'm gonna go down to where it says overflow, and I'm just gonna say horizontal. And basically what that means is everything outside of the bounding box is basically your overflow. And you can even go back to design and hit clip content. Then when I go to prototype and I hit play, I actually can see all of my images now are scrolling. Now you'll notice on my very last image here, it starts to get cut off. And in order to fix that, I'm just gonna go back over to my design, and you see where the bounding box ends. It ends at the very end of our artboard frame. So I'm just gonna move that in a little bit. And that just creates a stopping point so that my image is actually gonna stop here instead of over here. So now when I play it, I'm just gonna hit restart. You'll see that it ends like over here. So yeah, now I have a horizontal scroll going this way. And we can do the same for vertically. So I'm actually gonna duplicate this artboard. Let's just make this frame vertical. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna hit vertical. I'm just gonna resize my artboard. So if you hold down Command on your keyboard, you can pretty much move your artboard any size that you want. So I'm gonna make it match the vertical frame, and the same for here. I'm gonna hit Command and I'm just gonna drag in my bounding box. So now I want my images to scroll up and down. And actually, let's make our artboard a little shorter. So we're gonna take our big slide, the bigger outer frame, and I'm just gonna hold Command and I'm gonna drag maybe to about here. Let's show like 3 images. Then I'm gonna go down here and I'm going to select the bounding box and press Command. And we're just gonna drag it to about here. So now once this is selected, I'm gonna go over to prototype, and instead of overflow being horizontal, we're just gonna say vertical. So now when we play our carousel, so now we have a vertical scroll. So yeah, guys, I hope this quick tutorial was helpful. Let me know if you end up trying this out in one of your next projects. And as always, I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.